All right, let's take a look at if-else statements when comparing strings. So, for example, suppose I'm going to ask the user a question, like, do you study? And if they say yes, I'm going to say good, that means you're going to get good grades. And if they say no, I'm going to tell them, uh-oh, that's a problem, you might get bad grades. So I'm going to ask them for some input, and I'll use the scanner for this. So I'll go ahead and import the scanner class, which is Java util.scanner. And I'll go ahead and create a new scanner so I can ask them the question, scanner my scanner equals new scanner. Okay, so now I'm going to ask them the question, system out print line. And the question is, do you study? And I'm going to give them a yes or no prompt, yes or no, so that they know how they should answer the question. Okay, so now I'm going to create a new string called answer, and I'm going to set that equal to the input, so my scanner next string. Or actually, let's do next line. So that will go to use the scanner that I've created to get the next line, and then that will fill in the variable answer, and we can start working with it. And there's one thing I forgot to do, and that is when I create a scanner, I've got to put it here system.in so it knows to get it from the keyboard. Okay, so now I've asked them a question, I've got their answer, and I'm going to evaluate it. So if the answer is yes, then I want it to execute the code that says, yay, you're going to get good grades. Else, it's going to execute the code that says they're going to get bad grades. I'll put a little note here. So this is the basic structure of the if-else statement. I've got if, parentheses, curly brackets, else, another block, and a little note that says and if else. So I'll go ahead and space out this a little bit so it's easier to read. And the formatting doesn't really matter. I could just go to use my auto layout tools here with BlueJ, Control-Shift-I, and that auto lays it out for me. Okay, so within the parentheses we want to put a check to see if conditions are true, and basically we want to check to see if answer is yes. So if answer is yes, we're going to print one thing. If it's not yes, we'll print another thing. So here I'm going to go ahead and say if answer, and the big mistake that people make is they use a comparison operator where they just put an equal sign. So this would be actually wrong. What we want to do is we want to use a method that strings have, and it's called equals. And to do that, I say answers dot equals, and I create some parentheses, and I'm going to put the parentheses around the string, the literal string that I am checking for. So this says answer dot equals yes. That is a method that is going to return either true or false depending on whether the answer is actually yes or no. So if it is yes, I'm going to go ahead and print out. In fact, I can just copy this line that I've got here. System out print line, and I'll say, sorry, I already know that in this case I'm going to say, yay, good grades. And then if it's not yes, I'm going to go ahead and print out, oh no, bad grades. I'll compile it to make sure it works. And let me see, the scanner does not have a next, no, I did this wrong. It should be scanner dot next line and the parenthesis after that. Okay, my scanner dot next line It's a method. Okay, so now it compiles just fine. I can go ahead and run it, and you'll see that there is a little problem. Let's see what happens when we run it. I'm just going to right-click this, void main. Okay, do you study, yes or no? I'm going to type in yes. It says yay, good grades. What happens if I run it again, only this time I capitalize the word yes? So do you study, yes or no? I'm going to type in capital yes. And it says, oh no, bad grades. So the problem with this is it's case sensitive. And there's a quick fix that I can do to make it so it doesn't care what case it is and just is concerned about whether they type in yes or no. And that is to, instead of using the equals method, use the equals ignore case method. And if I go ahead and run that, do you study? Here I'll put yes with a capital E in the middle, but it still says yay, good grades. So that's how we compare strings in an if-else statement.